It is a habit of human nature and people to discover, understand, and apply the knowledge gained around us, since one of the major topics that we apply throughout our life is measurement, area, volume, and surface area. Hello everyone, my name is Mishti Koshu and I am a student of Amity College. Today I am here to explain and inform you how to apply the metrical length conversions and discovering the usage of the perimeter. Measurement is a terminology which describes the size, length, and amount of a certain object or a being as an act of measuring. There are various ways we can use the act of measuring, which involves the distance traveled, how tall the person is, how much sugar is required in making a cake are one of the few examples of measurement. To find out the length of a particular object or to measure the distance of 2 points, metrical units of length is used. This system is called and known as the metrical system, which is also used by the scientist. Furthermore, it involves various prefixes, for instance, centi, 100th, milli, 1000th, kilo, 1000. The conversions of the metrical units are demonstrated below. Millimeters to centimeters divided by 10. Centimeters to millimeters divided by 100. Meters to kilometers divided by 1000. However, when you go the opposite, it is times it, which clearly defines when you go big to small times, when you go small to big, divide. Kilometers to meters times it by 1000. Meters to centimeters times it by 100. Centimeters to millimeters times it by 10. The ability to work with metrical conversions is an essential skill that numerous professions and trades include. For example, this is utilized in architecture, fashion designing, interior designing, and engineering. When obtaining measurements, always apply the limits of accuracy, which defines that you provide a 0.5 mark of addition or subtraction to the original number. For instance, if the length is 12 centimeters, we can take the answer of 11.5 centimeters and 12.5 centimeters. There can also be another example. If you find that the tube is 15 centimeters, however, the teachers usually give the leniency of 14.5 centimeters to 15.5 centimeters. Perimeter is the distance around the boundaries of a particular object or a shape. Perimeter, you usually add all the sides and the lengths together. However, the difference, as you can see, area is a space inside the figure. However, perimeter is a distance around the shape. The formula of a perimeter is P equals 2 brackets L plus B bracket closed, which depicts that L defines the length and B suggests the breadth. However, you could also add all the sides together, but this will only work in a square. But it will generally take and consume more time than the formula of perimeter would. P equals 2L plus P plus 2W. So adding all the sides will only be done in a square or even a rectangle, as you can add the lengths together and the breadths together, and then you can add the total amount. When solving word problems of perimeter, always provide the description and the type of shape it is, but do not include its picture. Always draw the diagram before finding the perimeter. As you can see, square A, so it is perimeter equals 4A. Rectangular, its perimeter equals 2A plus 2B. Triangle, it will be A plus B plus C. However, circle is totally different, which is perimeter equals 2 pi r squared, 2 pi r. Example 1. So let's get started with the first example. Find the following. As you can see, it is 98 centimeters into millimeters. As we can see in the chart, it says that centimeters to millimeters is times it by 10. So we go 98 times it by 10 equals 180 80. But remember, they're asking millimeters. That means that 980 millimeters is also 98 centimeters. Now we go with 0.0137 kilometers equals how many meters? Kilometers to meters is times it by 1000. So 0.0137 times it by 1000. So that means going 3 towards right, 1, 2, and 3, which clearly states that 13.7 meters is the answer. Example 1, we're still continuing. Part C, 1023 millimeters into centimeters. Now we're seeing that millimeters into centimeters is divided by 10. So we divide this by 10, which just gives a point. And that is 102.3 centimeters. Now we get along with part D, the last but not the least. 1.2 centimeters into millimeters. Centimeters to meters. So we can see divided by 100. 1.2 divided by 100 gives us 1, and 2 gives us the answer of 0.012 meters. Example 2. Find the limits of accuracy for the measurements below. 20 centimeters. So 20 centimeters, the accuracy lenience will be 19.5 centimeters to 20.5 centimeters. In the next one, 999 millimeters, it will be 998.5 millimeters to 999.5 millimeters. Part C, it will be 100.5 meters to 101.5 meters. The next one may seem a little bit challenging, but it is not. You just need to look at it carefully. 1,509.5 kilometers to 1,510.5 kilometers. Example 3, find the perimeter. You need to be really careful because now we're going towards challenging questions. This is not a challenging question yet. It says find the perimeter for the first shape. So as you can see, we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is a hexagon and all of them are equally numbered, which is 8 millimeters. So 8 millimeters times it by 6 gives you 42 millimeters is the answer for this shape. However, part B says convert the units into centimeters. 42 millimeters equals how many centimeters? Now, millimeters to centimeters is divided by 10, which means it is 4.2 centimeters. Now, the next part is a rectangle has been given. It's a isosceles a triangle has been given, and it is an isosceles triangle. That means two sides are the same. So 9 centimeters have the same sides, which means 9 times 2 plus 3.5 centimeters. Now we can work that out, which is 18 plus 3.5 gives us the answer of 21.5 centimeters. That means that's the answer for this shape. Nevertheless, let's look at the next part. Convert the units into millimeters. So 21.5 centimeters into millimeters. As we know, when we go from big to small, it is times. And that is times it by 10. So it is 215 millimeters. Example 4. Now the words problem starts. Problem solving. A cotton rectangular rug is 160 centimeters wide and 2.3 meters long. Find the perimeter of the rug and later convert it into millimeters. So that will be part B of it. So let's just follow part A first, which is find the perimeter. First, we cannot find it like this because the units are different. So we need to change them into one unit. So we'll change meters into centimeters, which will be 230 plus 160, which will give us 390. And now we need to divide it by, which will give us 390. And that will be the answer of the rug. So that means we need to divide this by 2 because there are two sides of it. We need to times this by 2, which is 390 times it by 2 is 2. 2 nines are 18. 2 threes are 6 and 7. That means 786 centimeters. The reason why we times it is because we've only found just 2 lengths of it. It's a rectangular, okay? A rectangle. The other 2 will be found when we times it by 2, which is 2 zeros are, sorry, we made a mistake. It is 2 zeros are 0. 2 nines are 18. 2 threes are 6 and 7. So the answer is 780 centimeters. Now we do the next part, which is later converted into millimeters. As we saw that the answer was 780 centimeters, we have to be very careful with our multiplication, so we shouldn't rush into it. Now we're going from centimeters to millimeters. Centimeters to millimeters, that means we need to times it by 10. So 780 times it by 10 gives us the answer is 7,800 millimeters is the correct answer. Example 5. Anna runs 4 times around a field of 30 meters by 25 meters. Find the perimeter of the shape. That's the first part. And what is the distance? What distance did she run and convert it into kilometers? So Anna runs 4 times around the field. First we need to find the perimeter. So the perimeter, we need to actually find the perimeter as is shown. It is 30 plus 25 times it by 2. So we need to put this like this. 55 times it by 2 gives us the answer of 110. However, it says times it by 4. So it is 440 meters. The next one is, what distance did she run? She ran 440 meters, and converted into kilometers will be divided by 1000. The answer will be 0.44 kilometers. And that's the answer. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the explanation of measurement and perimeter. Thank you very much. See you later. Bye.